So let's just settle into our meditation posture and check your legs, sits bones raised, hands in the meditation mudra, shoulders aligned with the hips, and imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just put some length in the spine, stretch, imagine the back, all those muscles along the back are stretching, the tiny, tiny muscles help to keep us upright. I'll just adjust the mic a bit. Head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. If your eyes were open, you'd be looking at a spot about 2 inches ahead. Lips are slightly apart, relax the jaw, and let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head, particularly at the occipital bone, base of the skull, and relax the ears and the temples, the jaw again, the back of the tongue. Release any tension in the back of the neck and let your shoulders drop down, your shoulder blades drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes, and bring the mind to the breath. Just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. All is quiet here. The crickets haven't started yet. Just notice if you do have someone in your house or you can hear anything outside, or you have pets or something, just notice what it is that distracts your mind, what draws you away. And then bring the mind very gently back. And then just notice what thoughts are arising. Do you have things bubbling up from today? And try and put some space in between those thoughts. Try not to judge or have opinions about what it is you're thinking. Maybe just try and be objective and curious, interested. Okay, so there's a bit of agitation there. There's some insecurity. That's interesting. I know Venerable Rabina has a sweet name for them. She calls them all our roommates, hiding under the bed. So whichever roommate's coming out right now, it's just okay. You can greet them, check them out, and just let them move on. So imagine we're sitting on the bank of this river of mental moments, and we're watching it flow on by without getting swept away, drowning. So as we're sitting on the bank, we're safe and dry. So let's just bring to mind all these people of our life, our loved ones, our spouses, our children, our besties. These are the people that we keep in our hearts. And then there's those people in our life who we have some difficulty with. Maybe it's slight irritation. Maybe they create agitation around us. Or maybe they've just really harmed you and you really want to just stay away. And then there's our strangers passing us every single day in their car, in the store. Maybe we hear them on some kind of the radio or the television. They're fleetingly in our lives. But they're all the same, really. They're all equal, no matter how we label them or think about them right now. They're just the same as you and me. They all want to be happy. They all want to be free from suffering. And actually, everybody, including the ones we don't like, do have this amazing capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and for all sentient beings, and for ourselves as we're moving along our spiritual path. So there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So we're working with our mind. This is psychology, what we're doing here. This is kind of like spiritual therapy, if you like. So we're creating negativity with our mind, so we're creating positivity instead. And I know this meditation feels like we're focusing on all the things we've done wrong, but actually in a way we kind of need to check out the dirt so we can know what it is we need to work on. And we have other meditations that are more uplifting. But this one can also provide quite a bit of relief. I know the prisoners were delighted when they could hear that they actually had a meditation they could do that would help purify some of the things they'd done. So I found that quite encouraging. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason we're regretting, and this is not guilt, we're taking responsibility here, we're not passing it on to someone else. Oh, I did this thing, I'm so bad. This is regret. Regret implies that you want to do something about what's happened. So it's based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear this thought of future suffering because we've already had enough of it. So logically it makes sense to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret the anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Buddha to forgive us. We are taking responsibility. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, however you think of them, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And Vajrasattva is made of radiant, blissful white light. And he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. And just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. So Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. No judgment. He's accepting you exactly as you are showing up this evening. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. He is wearing the 5-pointed crown embedded with jewels. He's wearing these beautiful silken robes and scarves in the Royal Indian style. He has an aura of light around his head and around his body. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. and their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. In this case, the very beings we have harmed. So just imagine, bring to mind somebody that you've harmed or some sentient being you've harmed, and have a compassion for them, a wish for them to not suffer. And then remember those who have harmed you, and maybe a little bit more difficult, but think because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've caused you, we can maybe think about having compassion for them. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And here we use the visualization and recitation of the mantra. So Vajrasattva, very compassionately, first of all, we're purifying the body. So Vajrasattva is sending powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama satame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is a purification of speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And just imagine it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a dark room and you switch on a light, the darkness is instantly dispelled. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all our depression and attachment and neediness and anger and grasping and resentments and jealousy and bitterness, all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anuraktam Ibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of what causes us, all of us, so much suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, is totally gone, finished. And now there's no space in your heart for anything except love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And you can imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And if you wish, you can do for each of the visualizations of the body and of the speech and of the mind that we've just done, you can maybe just do a couple of mantras for each as just kind of an extra cleanse. Or if that's kind of too busy, you can do, imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream, even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So just rejoice. So here we come to the power of resolve, and first of all, rejoice in your efforts, the progress that you're making, all the delusions that are kind of you're slowly chipping away at, and make a decision about something you'd like to refrain from between maybe just now and tomorrow. And maybe you do it give yourself a timeline of maybe 50 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or overnight while you're sleeping. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z, as you say here. And then rejoice. This is our resolve. We're taking care of ourselves. We're taking care of our minds by doing this. So, conclude. Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And Lama Yeshe had a very sweet way of calling it union oneness. So next, Rinpoche, Lamsa Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So in this way we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this purification to all living beings, all the people of our life, and to ourselves, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single happiness and benefit in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lamsa Rinpoche, Tub Shul Chang Jin Jam Gon Gyalaway, Tenzing Kyang Pelaway Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kuraway Leg Mon to a Drub, Pa Dog Sog Dulaje Gondu Jab Ten Shok. And for Lama Ursel Venerable One, to use kindness succeeds out of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West. Mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far-distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Very nice to see you there, Steve, and Elizabeth, Lorraine, Susan.